And he's brought down after a very nice gain. Good work after the catch. Going to net him 23 and a first.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
These are his numbers from last week's contest. 7 carries, 127 yards, and a score.
Leading the league in rushing after week 1, you know he'd love to double down and continue that type of play here in week 2.
Second down, McNabb. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
You better be ready. Don't be scared of it.
Enough takes to start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
Right there, 56. Right here.
From the gun, here's McNabb. Flush to his right. Oh, he's going to go for it all. And this is going to be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. So a pretty shaky start here for both sides.
Yeah, each quarterback's throwing a ball to the other team. Do you think on both sidelines they're sitting them down and saying, okay, remember, this is the color jersey we're wearing. They're wearing the other color. Let's make sure we get it to our guys, please.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. He finds Taylor, complete.
Let's go.
A big play there for New England. 43 yards.
We spent a lot of time talking about what's going on the field. How about off the field with the evaluation? And they spent a lot of time saying, we've got to get a rookie in here who has big playability. And that's exactly what we're seeing here early in his career.
Drafted him in the spring. Here he is early in the fall making an impact. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 18 big yards on that one and a New England first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
And good downhill running. He's got 6 yards down to the 13. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. And he got half of what he needed there, 2 yards. And it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off down at the 10. He's at the 50. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield. Oh, no doubt, a very disappointing end to what was a pretty strong opening drive.
They had 3 points in their back pocket. It was there for them. If you don't like what you see, just throw it away. Make sure you get those points on the board. Don't get too greedy. He forced it there. You saw the end result.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10 right at the 50-yard line. Fights free yet again. Swatted. There he goes right side. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown on the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Good start to the season for him. He had the touchdown last week in the opener and a 2nd one in week 2 now.
How about the pace he's already established, right? Not sure he can keep it up for an entire season, but don't burst the bubble because he thinks that he can.
Do guys go in a goal for touchdown scored or yardage? What do you think?
I think every single one of the guys who's going to touch the football, they all have those types of goals. They all have those types of thoughts. And then they just have to see how the season unfolds if they can stay with it.
Unfolding so far so good for him. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit. Like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. They'll drop to throw. He'll get it in the hands of Clark. Complete.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Patriots in control of the football as they're looking at a 2nd down and 9 to go. They'll get 4 out of that, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. And just a small glimpse there as to why they like this rookie so much.
And that's why they lit up a little bit in our meetings with the coaching staff, didn't
they? When we talked about him, they did.
Yeah, you know, they like his work ethic. You know, this guy's running every route well in the route tree, getting better at it all the time, really honing his game. They expect a pretty good jump out of him as things continue to move on.
Only 2 on the screen pass there, and it'll be 4th down.
They dialed up the screen pass on 3rd down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a 1st down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
And this is going to be ruled out, I think, just inside the 20. Yes, it will. Side judge calls it at the 19-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. Things progressing to plan so far. Their defense has been solid, and they've got themselves a 7-0 lead after the touchdown the last time they had the ball.
And this is no time.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here.
Let's go. Hey, check right, check right. Well, try. You ain't doing nothing today.
Here's McNabb. Oh, he's able to out-muscle him here as he pulls it in. And he gets this deep into Patriot territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 76 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Tucker with the extra point. And that'll make the score 14-0. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's a 2nd and 7. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
30 base. 2 right here. 52. Here we go. Check 24. Check 24. Yeah.
On first down, Pruitt. he's across midfield and into Miami territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
There's a lot of discussion in the offseason about him having a big year and getting to the quarterback. They held him without a sack in week 1, but how about here? Finally gets his first one of the season.
In the offseason, said he changed his diet, leaner, feels so good this year. Excited to see what type of a season he can have. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. The open man is Clark, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. A minute 52 to play until halftime. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in this second week of the regular season. Now this one complete on the slant route. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, and a New England first down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. So it's 3rd and 6, and this will be the 8th play of the drive. They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll bring up 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays, and when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. The passing game, they've had more success there than the running game. Maybe something they game plan for.
How come they didn't tell us about it?
Because they wanted to keep it a secret.
We did ask, didn't we? But I think what happened in this one is they've realized that they've established the run pretty well, and teams are going to key on that. They thought they could open it up and have success through the air, and that's exactly what's going on.
Yeah, they've had success at least so far here in the second quarter. Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
Out of the gun, McNabb. He finds an opening past the 40. But he's got Fitzgerald. As they finally wrangle him in at the 48. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Now it's McNabb. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on first down. McNabb to throw. Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete. So with 4 seconds to go in the half, here's the field goal unit onto the field. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. And that hits off the left upright. And no good. So we have reached halftime. Due to time constraints, we move you forward in today's broadcast to the beginning of the third quarter. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. This is taken at the 3. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They got the victory last week. That was against the Baltimore Ravens, and they have the lead here as well. They'll run on first down. Dickerson. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
So they hit pay dirt on just one play. The long run, the scamper, and a very nice scamper into the end zone for the touchdown. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. Here comes the Patriots offensive unit. They'll have it first here to begin the third quarter. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
On second down now. Pruitt. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
He'll drop to throw. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off at the 40. And he will return this one to the 30-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD, and it feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Now McNabb. And that's going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Now, after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami.
Watch the screen. Pass. He's checking. Crash.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
He'll buy some time right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete. Larry Fitzgerald was the intended target, and it'll bring up third down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
To throw, McNabb. He may try and run for this. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down.
Now that's disappointing for the defense. They had the advantage, had excellent coverage all over the field, but they let him get away, scramble, and pick up a first down and inside the 5-yard line.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And he gets halfway there from the 4 to the 2 on a gain of 2.
They're in a pretty good spot right now with a convincing lead. I think this is where they put on the boxing gloves, start to try and pound them into submission.
And the offensive line, they've controlled this game. I don't see why that trend would change now. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's their quarterback. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Offensively, pretty effective option play there for the score.
Certainly was, and it appeared to me that the defense overshifted and overplayed the trail back, the pitch man, and almost forgot about the quarterback. In fact, they did forget about the quarterback, and he turned it into a touchdown.
So that drive in total 8 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up.
Yeah.
Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes.
There's a little bit of defense right there. Nickel set, 5 defensive backs. They just snuffed out every route that was going. Quarterback never got rid of the football.
So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Looking to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
That'll be a New England 1st down, a gain of 12. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 46. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 24. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Going the other way.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
LaShawn McCoy off to the races, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 1st touchdown here of the new campaign, as his guys continue to pour it on. And my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. New England on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. They'll set up to throw. Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It'll be a Patriot first down on a pickup of 16. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. He gets this into the hands of Taylor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. A 10-yard pickup, and it's enough for a Patriot first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 48-yard line. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man on the out route. And, boy, they had high praise for this rookie receiver when we asked the coaches about him, didn't they?
They certainly did, and obviously they liked his measurables, otherwise they wouldn't have brought him onto the team. Height, weight, speed, all of that. But how about what they really said? Competitiveness. That's what they really liked about him. The way he goes after the football, competes for it, and decides when it's in the air, it's his and only his.
A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he put enough leg into it, but it's well off to the right and no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So it's an empty possession, and as a kicker, not the way you want to start your day's work.
And now each team's missed a field goal here so far, Brandon, so apparently neither guy is immune.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. McNabb. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 19. He'll look to throw. And Sanders has got it complete. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to make it 4th down.
That was well defended, and while it was a completion, it resulted in a loss of yardage. Just dropped it and saved the yardage. It goes against the entire training that he's had his whole career.
And for an offense that is struggling, this is not where you want to start from. Great punt.
Fantastic punt. And for all those who wonder, what do punters do during the course of practice each and every day? The best ones do what we just saw there. Work on positioning the football and helping their team.
Well, the drive starts with a completion left side, and he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Now the 2nd down throw on target. And they're able to bring him down at the 20. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. They'll look to throw now on first down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. 2nd and 10. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
I think this one offensively, this is one where you just say, let's move on. Let's not even watch the game tapes from this one.
Yeah, you might just want to throw it in the trash, act like it was never there in the first place.
Yeah, just say we're good. Actually, I've heard of a coach in the past who took his team out to the practice field and ceremonially buried the game films from the prior game when they got clobbered. That was his way of putting it behind them.
That one goes for 36 yards. So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit. And now here is another interception. Picked off around the 41. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? And any
got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. A big play there. His first touchdown of the new season as his guys continue to put this one out of reach. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Here we go.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 21 yards there on 3rd down. They'll drop the throw. They'll find Taylor. That's complete.
Come on, set.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for Miami, they use the favorable early schedule to their advantage as they move to 2-0. And they'll hit the road next week.